Factor x squared plus 9x plus 18. Whenever we factor a trinomial in the form x squared plus bx, some number times x, plus a constant, we want to factor it in the form x plus some number, we'll call it m, times x plus another number, which we'll call n. The reason for this is when we multiply two binomials, we usually end up with a trinomial. And we want these to start with x because when we FOIL this product out, the product of the first terms, x times x, is going to give us x squared. And we need it to end in constants because one constant times another constant when we FOIL is going to give us that third constant. So we want this to be x plus one number times x plus another number. And our goal is to figure out what those two numbers are going to be. But we know two facts about those numbers. The product of those numbers has to equal c. Basically, that product m times n has to equal c. This comes from FOILing. When we multiply the last terms together, m times n, that's going to be the constant term, which gives us c. The other thing we know about this is that the sum of these two numbers has to equal b, the coefficient on the x term. The reason for that is when we FOIL, the product of the outer terms, x times n, is going to be nx, and the product of the inner terms, m times x, is going to be mx. So in the end, that sum has to give us the bx, which means that the m plus the n has to give us the b. So anytime we're factoring something in this form, x squared plus bx plus c, we're looking for two numbers that have a product of c and a sum of b. And when we find those numbers, we put them in this format, x plus the first number times x plus the second number. Now, let's look at our polynomial here, x squared plus 9x plus 18. When we factor this, this is going to be a product, x plus one number times x plus another number. And we know two things about those numbers. We know that their product is going to have to equal 18. That's the constant term here. And we know that their sum has to equal 9. That's the coefficient on the x. So we're looking for two numbers that have a product of 18 and a sum of 9. Now, many students can figure this out immediately in their heads without any issues, but if you're ever struggling, you can look at all the different ways to get the right product. If we look at 18, 18 is 1 times 18, or 2 times 9, or 3 times 6. It could also be negative 1 times negative 18, or negative 2 times negative 9, or negative 3 times negative 6. And we're also looking for a pair of numbers that gives us a sum of 9. And if we look, 3 plus 6 gives us the 9 for a sum that we need, and 3 times 6 gives us the product of 18 that we need. So these two numbers that we're looking for are 3 and 6, which means that the factorization is going to be x plus 3 times x plus 6. If you want to check that this is correct, you can FOIL it out, and you should end up with x squared plus 9x plus 18.